Well, for climate change scientists who believe something has to be done now to reduce carbon emissions, the Lowy poll makes for depressing reading. John Connor is the Chief Executive of the Climate Institute. John Connor, you must be pulling your hair out that your message on climate change is still not hitting the mark.
Well, look, I think what's very clear is the politicians squabbling about action for now almost half a decade of this polling is toxic to public support, and so what's critical is that we finally get on with some action, and we hope that the governments, the Greens and the Independents are steeled by this result. But Senator Milner's absolutely right. When people understand that we actually are taking action that can reduce pollution, that can grow investment in renewable energy and energy efficiency, we see support strengthening. We had a poll just last weekend showing that some 2/3 of Australians would then support this action. So it's the context that's really, we're missing that, and the politicians squabbling.
But you heard Christine Milner talking about the climate change sceptics running a very strong campaign. Why is their message getting through to the public more than yours and the government's?
Well, I think we have been hampered by the lack of detail about what's actually happening. So what will be the price, what are the policies in terms of growing investment in renewable energy, how are we certain that we'll actually see some outcomes, some pollution reduction through this program, and how are we going to help households more broadly with energy efficiency. I think that will change the nature of this debate. It won't change overnight at all. There's going to be a hard slog now to overcome a fair degree of scepticism out there. It's partly because of the politicians not actually taking some action on this, but there's been a heck of a scare campaign and misinformation and personal attacks out there, making it very difficult indeed.
Now, the government has announced extra money, so-called buffer money for battlers, for people who are doing it tough when they introduce the carbon tax. Is money the key to turning the tide of public opinion?
It's part of that. When people realise that this is an industrial scale reform, we're actually trying to change the behaviour first and foremost of those that are making the decisions about what sort of power that we have, how some of our industrial processes run. Finally making some of those companies pay for the carbon pollution they've been putting up in the atmosphere for free, enabling us to support households, enabling us to put investments into renewable energy. That's when we'll actually see some greater support coming through, I think.
John Connor, thank you.
Thank you.